Very pleasant good evening, everyone, and happy Valentine's Day here from the Sawyer Center on the campus of SNU in Bethany, Oklahoma. SNU basketball is live and on the air as the Crimson Storm take on the visitors from Oklahoma Baptist just down the road in Shawnee in what should be a terrific doubleheader tonight for the men and women. I'm Luke McConnell alongside Russ Frisbee. Thanks you very much for joining us and including us as part of your Valentine's date night. Pleasure to be bringing you tonight's game. And again, Russ, just what should be a terrific matchup between two good teams, both on the women's side and the men's side tonight. Really close games in Shawnee, the women winning by 2 in double overtime and the men by 1 on a last-second steal by Zach Johnson. We'll get to the men later, but first up for the women, SNU with an opportunity here tonight with a win and a loss by Northwestern State to clinch a spot in the Great American Conference Championship in March in Bartlesville, which would be the first time SNU has reached that spot as a member of Division II in the Great American Conference. And Russ, when we look back at the start of the year, certainly not something we were expecting to be saying with 5 games to play.
Yeah, not necessarily how you would have predicted the season to go. At the beginning, we got to credit SNU, really stepped up in conference play, learned a lot from those early season matchups out of conference. Some of those big opponents we played, Colorado during the preseason, just some great opponents. SNU really stepping up during this conference play, especially during this month of January, now February, and very exciting stuff for them. Awesome opportunity for them to head up to Bartlesville for that conference championship.
And Russ, it has been the defense that has brought SNU to this point. 4 of the past 6 opponents they have held to 50 points or fewer, highlighted by a 36-point showing from Arkansas Monticello a couple weeks back. Saturday against Southeastern, SNU was a 54-46 winner in a game that they held the Savage Storm to just 5 points in that fourth quarter. And Russ, Coach Trent May, said it's been the girls just buying in on the defensive end on what the coaching staff has been teaching throughout the season, and it's really come to fruition on the court here in these past couple of weeks.
Yeah, defense has been their calling card. It's been their consistent thing. It's been what they've been able to turn to, and it's been what has won them games down the stretch here in January. Some great defenders on that SNU side, some really naturally talented defenders. But like you said, Trent May, some of those girls just buying in hustle, getting out there, putting in the effort on defense, not always something you want to do, maybe not as glorifying, but in tough offensive stretches already over the last month, we've seen SNU standing tough when they've hit a skid on offense. That defense has kept them in the game and given them opportunities to win in low-scoring matches, and that has been very successful for them.
And it's a good thing, too, that SNU ranks number 1 in the conference in scoring defense and in field goal percentage defense in conference play. And ironically enough, the guys do, too. And we'll discuss that a little bit later tonight after we preview the guys' game. But it's a good thing because the SNU offense has not been something to write home about. We've seen flashes of that. The first half against Southeastern was fantastic. We were here for that one. And the first half against Northwestern was pretty good as well, just unable to sustain that momentum into the third quarter. They've seen big leads evaporate in that third quarter the past 2 games. And, what do you attribute that to?
I think sometimes with offense, just shots aren't falling, and that's been a big story for SNU, just times when shots really can't fall. But I also want to credit it to Abby Nehus a little bit. She's an awesome offensive presence down there, but teams come into the Sawyer Center having read the scouting report. They see Abby in the paint. They need to respond to that. 6'2" in the post is not something you often see on the women's side of D2. And so they come prepared for that. They're preparing to shut her down and also preparing to shut down penetration to the lane. And those are 2 of SNU's big scoring options. So when those are shut down, SNU having to rely a little bit more on mid-range or long-distance shooting, and that just hasn't been quite as consistent.
Just to speak some statistics that speak to the way that Nehus has been shut down the past few games, Abby has not scored in double figures in 3 weeks since a win over Arkansas Monticello. And in that stretch, she's only attempted 11 free throws. over the past 6 games. So you've kind of seen how defenders have bottled up the lane, and we've seen that also with Alexis Jones. Now, Alexis Jones, on the other hand, has really turned on things offensively. She's averaging over 13 points per game in the last 5 and nearly 6 rebounds per game to go along with those 13 points. So it's kind of a difference in response between those two players. And Coach May mentioned that at some point there's only so much you can do as a post player when teams are clogging the lane, and he mentioned the need to get other players to step up and force teams out of that defensive philosophy. And who do you think would be the best candidates to step up for SNU in that regard?
I think that's an excellent point, and I don't want to discredit Abby at all. I think a lot of what they've been doing defensively to shut her down has just denying the post entry, and so not her fault that she can't get it going a lot of times. A lot of times the pass just isn't there. But if I'm looking at SNU's offense, I'm looking to space the floor a little bit. I get really excited during some of the flashes we see from Alexis Jones. She's been challenged a lot recently. A couple of games in a row now, we've seen some very interesting defensive strategies against her, and really challenging her and daring her to shoot some mid-range and shoot some deep shots. And at times she's stepped up and hit that, and other times she hasn't. But I think that can be a big key for SNU moving forward, as well as the three-point shooting. We've seen some from Irene Perez, but especially we've seen a lot from JC Soap off the bench. And I think as that shooting comes along, SNU able to establish a mid to outside game, that's going to free up your paint a little bit and let you really, really be versatile in the way that you can attack.
JC Soap, 4 straight double-figure scoring games, and it's just really seizing the opportunities that she's been given and taking advantage of those. And she mentioned post-game on Saturday that defense was her biggest adjustment as a freshman in this league, and we've seen her step up in that regard. And first game in Shawnee against Oklahoma Baptist was the kind of her breakout game. She got a lot of playing time as a freshman with senior Adrian Berry on the bench for a lot of that game, just 17 minutes for Adrian. And so a big moment here for JC Soap, and we've seen the benefit of her playing time. So we will step aside right now as the teams are heading to the bench for the national anthem. We'll come back with the starting lineups for today's game and the opening tip between SNU and Oklahoma Baptist, the Crimson Storm, and the Bison coming your way right after this.
When a customer is on the fence about buying a car, we should
give them a hug.
No. Next.
Hannah? Full frontal?
No. Guys, practice hugs are not necessary. You don't have to practice hugging.
How about we serenade them?
Well, I'd be happy to sing a song for you.
That's terrible.
Diffie, driven by family since
The Great American Conference Basketball Championship Tournament returns to the Bruin Fieldhouse in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, March 7th through the 10th. It's all on the line as the league's top teams battle for the conference title and an automatic spot in the NCAA Division II Basketball Regionals. For ticket information and to follow GAC basketball throughout the season, visit GreatAmericanConference.com. The GAC Basketball Tournament, March 7th through the 10th.
Welcome back, and the starters being introduced right now for Oklahoma Baptist and SNU. Let's get to those for the Bison first up. Number 12, Carissa Price, sophomore guard, 5'10", from Midwest City, Carl Albert High School product. Number 22, Katie Custer, senior 5'11" forward from Dixon, Oklahoma. Number 23, Autumn Avina, senior guard, 5'6", from Austin, Texas, by way of Tyler Junior College. Avina, 6th in scoring in the conference, 16.1 points per game, and also leads the conference in assists, 184 assists and 73 steals this season. She will be one to keep in check for SNU. Number 32, Katie Banks, 3rd straight start for her, sophomore guard from Bristow, Oklahoma. And in the middle, number 33, Victoria Blankenship, conference leader in double-doubles. She's a 5'10" junior forward from Fayetteville, North Carolina, by way of San Jacinto North Junior College. For SNU, same starting lineup we've seen for the past couple weeks now. Irene Perez, number 4, junior forward from Spain. She's at 6 foot. She's averaging 6.5 points per game, 4.2 rebounds per game. She's had 5+ rebounds in 7 of the past 8 games. Sophomore Alexis Jones, 5'8" guard from Burleson, Texas. She's averaging 8.9 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, and 3.5 assists per game. That's good for number 5 in the conference. Number 10, Adrian Berry, senior guard, 5'11", from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Mount St. Mary's High School. Still leads the team in scoring at 11.5 points per game. Also chips in 3.8 rebounds per game. Number 12, senior guard Madeline Schrupfer, 5'5", from Rockwall, Texas. Is up to 7.4 points per game and 5.8 rebounds per game. That's good for number 19 in conference. She's had 4 double-figure rebound games this season. And in the middle, sophomore forward Abby Nehus, 6'2", from Mustang, Oklahoma, and Mustang High School. Leads the conference in blocks, both in per-game numbers and total numbers. Averaging 9.6 points per game, 6.6 rebounds per game, and over 3 blocks per game. Russ, a tall task for SNU this evening. They were able to get that double overtime win the first go-round over the Bison. What's it going to take for SNU to complete the season sweep tonight?
Well, obviously we always talk about defense with SNU. That's the big part of their game, a big calling card. But a couple of the weaknesses on that defense that they're really going to need to have to address tonight. 3-point field goal defense and offensive boards. Coming into tonight, Avina, Blankenship, and Custer all with over 6 rebounds a game. SNU struggled in the past keeping opponents off the offensive glass. So something we want to watch here moving forward, and how will they close out shooters? SNU's defense, a huge key to how they're able to stay in games. Hoping to see them step up big tonight and help SNU get the sweep over Oklahoma Baptist.
97th meeting between these two schools. SNU holds the all-time series lead 61-35 and have won 3 of the last 5 meetings. Katie Custer and Abby Nehus in the circle, and Nehus wins the tip, and we're underway here at the Sawyer Center. Thank you again for joining us on your Valentine's evening. We hope it will be a good showing for all involved. Madeline Schrupfer from the right wing for 3. She knocks it down to start the scoring for SNU.
OBU coming out in a 1-3-1 zone. It looked like an interesting look, maybe one that we haven't seen against SNU very much. But because of that, leaving the wing just to the left of the top of the key wide open, Schrupfer able to step up and hit the 3, make them pay.
Price tried to find Blankenship, but Nehus with the interception. Schrupfer pushing tempo. She'll go down the lane, kick out. Irene Perez will try a 3. Bank shot no good. Adrian Berry, the offensive rebound, and she puts it up and in. It's been a struggle scoring for Adrian Berry the past few games. Then a steal in the backcourt by Schrupfer, but she stepped out of bounds in the process. But SNU employing that full court press we saw in that first half against Southeastern on Saturday. Saw a lot of success with that as well. So SNU going right back to that, and Russ an opportunity to speed OBU up a little bit here.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of this from Trent May, trying to force opponents to play at their speed, if nothing else, just a little Madeline Schrupfer pressure, but right now opting for the full court press and maybe getting in OBU's head a little bit right here.
Perez reaches around, poked it away, but Custer comes up with it. SNU will force her to bring it up the court. Price just gets it across the timeline in time, and OBU will set up their offense here. Banks rejected by Perez. And Perez coming back the other way. Long lead pass up ahead to Adrian Berry. Jones inside with the left hand's no good. And Custer has the rebound. Quickly up ahead. Banks with it. Autumavina controlling up top for OBU. Now Blankenship with it, guarded by Nihus. Vina pulls up inside the three-point line and knocks down the long two. And it's 5-2 SNU early. Berry open for three, off the mark, no good. Rebound comes down to Victoria Blankenship. Vina pushing tempo. Kicks it out to Price. She drives baseline, finds Blankenship open at the free throw line for the jumper, and she knocks it down. Victoria Blankenship shooting 48% from the field, averaging 15.4 points per game and nearly 8 rebounds per game. A force to be reckoned with in the middle for OBU.
And a couple of nice mid-range jumpers there for OBU. Good ball movement has found them open at the top of the key and around the elbows, knocking down good little elbow jumpers.
Schrepfer pulls the trigger for three from the top of the key. It's short and off the mark. Nihus with the offensive rebound. She's stripped by Price going up, and Price coming the other way quickly. Crosses over down the lane. She's fouled by Perez, and she'll go to the line 4-2.
Right now, watching SNU adjust to that what looked like a 1-3-1 zone. Interesting look, but so far SNU also able to get a couple of nice offensive boards. The box out maybe not as easy when you find yourself in that zone, unable to find a man. Maybe an opportunity there for SNU to find some quick layups.
Price, a 78% free throw shooter this season, knocks down both free throws, and OBU leads 6-5 here in the early going. Schrepfer probing now in the corner with Perez. SNU still looking for that entry pass to Nihus. It has not been there. She gets inside with the left-hand hook. It's no good. And Blankenship has the rebound.
Right now the offense flowing through Blankenship as they continue trying to find her. They're at the high post, a little high-low action results in a bucket. Right now the offense flowing entirely through Blankenship, finding her at the top, up top high post there and allowing her to facilitate or score.
Custer got the mismatch on Schrepfer, was able to take advantage. Ball is deflected out of bounds by OBU.
Avina
so SNU will inbound on the sideline. Russ, from this vantage point, I didn't think it was touched.
No, Avina didn't think so either. She got a kind of a reaction there in with the ref. I didn't see what they were calling there, but definitely an opportunity now for SNU to take advantage.
Berry steps back behind the three-point line and airballs one. Nihus has the rebound. Schrepfer and Alexis Jones with it now. Shot clock did not reset, and there's going to be a foul call on Katie Custer. At last substitution into the game. Rayleigh Farquhar into the game for Katie Banks. First foul on Custer, first foul on OBU. Perez open in the corner for three, and she knocks it down.
Great hit there, taking advantage of what maybe was just a lapse in attention on the zone. Great shooting right now for SNU, 2 of 6 on early three-point attempts. And SNU making themselves look like an outside team that we've not seen previously in this year so far.
Price backs it out against Schrepfer, and a Blankenship inside. Tried to go through Nihus to no avail. Missed the shot, and Berry bringing it back for SNU. Perez finds herself open. Doesn't pull the trigger. Schrepfer in the lane. Puts it up. Left it on the front of the rim. And Custer with the rebound. She'll bring it up for OBU. Was deflected. Farquhar gets it back, guarded by Perez on the left wing. Penetrates, tried to bounce pass over to Blankenship, was deflected and taken away by Nihus. Tied at 8, 4.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Alexis Jones flexes out and knocks down the 18-foot jump shot. Great sign for SNU to see Alexis Jones hitting the mid-range there, Russ.
Yeah, great little jumper there. We talked about that during the pregame. Teams have been content to give her that this year, and so watching her knock that down, very exciting for SNU moving forward.
Foul there on Madeline Trupp for her first, second on the team, and that will take us to a stoppage in play. 4:23 to go first quarter, SNU leading early, 10-8. This is SNU basketball. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU leading early by 2, 10-8. Good start for SNU from the field, knocking down 2 3-pointers and posting 3 offensive rebounds here in the early going. Adrian Berry working to deflect that. Goes through Blankenship to deflect that out of bounds. Good hustle there from the senior. Custer will try it again for the Bison. The foul call is going to go on Adrian Berry that time. She and Alexis Jones working hard to prevent an entry pass to Autumn Avina. Third team foul for SNU. First on Berry.
A lot of good defensive energy right now by SNU. A lot of hustle here, really trying to make things difficult for OBU in the front court, or in the back court, and even on their side of the timeline.
A nice up and under move from Victoria Blankenship to tie the score at 10. Catching the feed off the screen and roll there. Schrupfer with it now. Berry. Entry pass into Jones. She's bumped and fouled by Carissa Price. That's going to be the first foul on Price, and Alexis Jones will go to the line for 2 free throws. Jones up to 63.7% from the foul line. Hits the first one, no problem. Leaves the second one short. Custer has the rebound for OBU. Blankenship from the foul line, well off the mark, crashes the glass, and that's going to be a foul on Victoria Blankenship as she ran headlong into Irene Perez and sent her sprawling.
Once again, though, Oklahoma Baptist living and dying through that post-entry pass, working the high post, continually putting the ball in Blankenship's hands and giving her the opportunity to figure out what's going to happen with the offense. Right there, though, a very fortunate miss for SNU, as that one was way right of the rim and of the basket.
Alexis Jones trying to find some space in the lane. Kicks baseline to Nihus, puts up the shot. It's off the mark, no good, and Avina has the rebound. And pushing quickly for OBU. 2 Bison on the outside. Avina does not hit either of them. Custer will try a deep 3, and it's off the mark. Perez the rebound. Cross-court pass to Jones. Cut off baseline by Custer. Now Schrupfer with it. Barry will try a three, and then she knocks it down.
Nice piece of shooting there from Barry. A great hit, as initially the kick out maybe should have gone to her, but an opportunity over there to Schrupfer. Schrupfer gets her the ball. And a great piece of shooting as SNU continuing to shoot the three ball well now. As it hasn't registered here yet in our stat book, but another great three-pointer from SNU.
Barry's just 8 of her last 32 before that three-point make. A good defense on the baseline from Nihus forces Blankenship out of bounds. JC Soap and Julia Schwacke into the game for the first time tonight. Schrupfer and Perez will take a seat. Sonia Sarda also coming in as Alexis Jones will take a seat.
Some earlier action than we're used to seeing for Schwacke, but we talked last week, an incredible game from Schwacke in some key minutes. Found some SNU players in foul trouble. She came in, and the defensive intensity that she brought to the court, absolutely outstanding for SNU, and she's being rewarded here with some early first quarter minutes.
Mia Cherry into the game for the first time for OBU. Katie Banks also back in for Blankenship. Barry with a nice basket cut. Oh, a little too hard off the back iron. And Avina stood up by Sarda. Ball's deflected. Avina gets it back. Great save by Cherry on the baseline. Good defense by Sarda there. Sarda went for the steal, missed. Avina swing pass. Custer three-pointer. Yes.
And that's tough after a decent stop and transition by SNU's defense, giving up the three. But great look there on the other end offensively. Barry getting a great look right into the basket, maybe a little bit excited about how open she was missed the layup. But the cutting right now, excellent from this semi-second unit from SNU.
So pivots on Custer, missed the shot, and Custer clears. Already her fourth rebound. Vina, cross-court skip pass. Banks' three is no good, and Schwacke clears. Now Sarda with it. Sarda dives down the lane. Beautiful pass to Nihus and puts it in. Great job by Sonia Sarda putting the pressure on Katie Custer to make a decision in the middle of the lane. She had to take the dribble drive, and the pass was open there for Nihus.
Wasn't the quickest cut or push to the basket we've ever seen, but she forced OBU to pick her up and then made a decision quick, maybe with a little no-look pass there to Abby Nihus, and a nice 2 points.
Shot clock's down to under 10. Custer has to fire up a three-pointer over Nihus, and she knocked it down. Katie Custer had a season-high 26 points in the first matchup against SNU and knocked down 6 three-pointers. Shot clock is off for SNU as the score's tied at 16 here. Schwacke open on the wing for three. She knocked down another one. Julia Schwacke becoming a contributor off the bench these last two for SNU. Avina, three-quarter court hurl goes out of bounds, and that's the end of the first quarter. Solid showing both ways for SNU. Leads by 3, 19-16 at the end of one. We will take a break and be right back with the start of the second quarter after this. (1916) SNU with the lead after one here at the Sawyer Center. 4 three-pointers in the first quarter for SNU, and 7 buckets on 6 assists. Great ball movement on both ways. OBU 6 buckets on 6 assists as well. 2 3-pointers from Katie Custer there, who knocked down 6 against SNU in Shawnee earlier this season. Blankenship back on the court for OBU. Massey Beard into the game for Abby Nehus for the first time tonight. Custer spins on Barry, puts up the shot off the rim, off the backboard, and in. Got the lead to 1. In for SNU on the court right now, it's JC Soap, Massey Beard, Sonia Sarda, who drives, puts up the shot, and puts it in for 2. Should probably only be 1 there, Russ, without going with the left hand there. She thought about it and then went back to the right hand at the last second.
Yeah, that's not necessarily the fundamental move, but if you're right-handed and you know, that maybe feels like the safe move in the drive. So she got the bucket. We'll critique her in film later this week.
Carissa Price with the bucket on the other end for OBU and drawing the foul on the freshman Massey Beard. Beard has shown a lot of energy in her time on the court this season, but certainly it's a learning curve for all freshmen at this level, and we've seen it in the foul trouble she's gotten into. She played just 6 minutes on Saturday and had 4 fouls. But you like what she brings to the court just from an energy perspective. Yeah,
and you give that up, with a freshman kind of figuring out how calls are going to be made at this level, and how, especially with a lot bigger bodies than what she's used to seeing in high school, but how she responds to that with her high levels of energy.
JC Soap knocks down the 3 on a beautiful look from Sonia Sarda. And Sarda doing a lot of good things from the point guard position here early in this one.
Not the tallest post SNU has seen over the last couple of days, but definitely one of the most dominant and enforcive ball working through Blankenship a lot. It'll be very interesting to see how Beard is able to respond and to handle Blankenship.
JC Soap, no hesitation from the top of the key. She knocked down another 3-pointer. She's got 6, and the SNU lead is up to 6, 27-21. Price trying to respond, long off the back iron. Massey Beard with the rebound, and Sonia Sarda bringing it back the other way. Long lead pass up ahead to Barry. She hops into a 3-pointer. It's no good. And Blankenship with the rebound, and Massey Beard with a slap on the wrist on the way by. Picks up her second foul very quickly. And again, just like we were talking about, 2 minutes in, Massey Beard already with 2 fouls. And that one just kind of a tough variety. You're trying to just tip the ball, and you happen to catch the arm on the way by. Just, kind of a tough foul call there. But either way, 2 fouls in 2 minutes from Massey Beard, kind of underscoring what we were talking about with the learning curve.
And a tough foul, and maybe just, some late effort, late energy put on a rebounding opportunity. Eventually she'll come to a place where she learns a little bit just about how this part of the game works. But excited about the energy you see from her, because foul and defensive techniques, you can teach that, but energy, I don't know that you can teach that. So excited to see a future here for Massey Beard.
Foul goes on Alexis Jones, a little arm bar action there. She's back into the game with Nehus and Madeline Schrupfer. Barry Sarda. Again, Massey Beard take a seat for SNU. Sonia Sarda, 2 points and 3 assists in 4 minutes. Some great action there. Mia Cherry drives in. That's an offensive foul on the freshman from Brock, Texas. That's her first on the Bison in the quarter. SNU already up to 3 personal fouls here in the second quarter. SNU leads this one 27-21. They're 6 of 11 from 3-point range to start this one. OBU not too shabby themselves, shooting 8 of 15 from the field. 4 turnovers for the Bison, just 1 for the Crimson Storm so far. Soap finds herself open in the corner for another 3, leaves that one short. Schwacke tipped it, but tripped over Nehus's foot going for the rebound, and the ball out of bounds to OBU. But again, you love the confidence from the freshman Soap.
Yeah, right now just a shooting clinic from SNU. Shooting the ball very well, not something they've gotten to enjoy success with over the entirety of this season, but very exciting seeing how well and just how confidently those strokes have been falling.
Carissa Price spins in the lane, is rejected by Nehus on what was a beautifully designed inbounds play. between her and Blankenship. Schrupfer tries to drive in. Ball's deflected. He goes out of bounds for SNU. 22 on the shot clock. Alexis Jones will inbound on the baseline. Soap thought about the baseline jumper. Instead, drives inside. Kick out to the wing for Schrupfer's three is no good. Schwacke goes over the back and commits the foul on Carissa Price. It's going to be Schwacke's first. Fourth team foul already for SNU, so OBU will be in the bonus the rest of the quarter. 7:05 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that's another silly rebounding foul. I know you the opportunity to put some energy in, poke that ball out, offensive boards, turn into a lot of momentum, but that's another foul a long ways away from the basket, and now SNU finding themselves in foul trouble as a team.
Banks drives in. Good defense by Soap to stay vertical on the drive. Schrupfer comes away with it. She's got numbers. Kick in the corner, Schwacke. She'll drive in, spins on Custer, and gets an arm bar from Katie Custer, and Schwacke draws the foul.
Good confident drive there from Schwacke. Caught the ball in the corner, gave a little pump fake, and murking her way towards the paint. Nice foul draw there from Schwacke.
That's the second foul on Katie Custer. And Carissa Price, who just checked out, quickly back off the bench for Custer. Autumn Avina also into the game right now for OBU. So it's Avina, Cherry, Price, Blankenship, and Banks on the court for OBU right now.
Now some clarification on some of those subs, and gameplay will resume.
OBU not a particularly deep team.
A foul drawn away from the ball there. It looked like maybe Alexis Jones drew something on the baseline.
That's going to be number 2 on Carissa Price, and she will come check out as Rayleigh Farquhar back into the game. So 2 on Price and Custer. And again, OBU not a particularly deep team, especially with junior guard Michaela Schulenberger out with a broken pinky. She is done for the season. She's their best defender. Nehus finds herself wide open, missed the shot, did not want to step in too close. Good find from Soap, but unable to capitalize was Nehus. Cross-court skip pass, Farquhar for 3. It's short. Rebound, Cherry puts up the shot and puts it in.
A miss there on that three-pointer, but something SNU's defense needs to be aware of. These OBU ladies willing to shoot the ball from very deep range, very far behind the arc, and that's something they're going to need to be able to close out on a little bit better.
Soap missed the 3, but Nehus with the offensive rebound, and she puts it up and in. Already the 4th offensive rebound for SNU in this one, which have led to 7 second chance points for the Crimson Storm. Blankenship at the elbow. Gets it out to Banks. Looked like that pass was deflected. Avina and Cherry in the corner lost it. Blankenship lost it again. Now Avina with it. 4 on the shot clock. She's going to have to hurry. Fires up the 3 of her Soap and got it at the end of the shot clock.
That's some clutch shooting right in the face of the defender. Not a whole lot more you can do on that. Just some very excellent shooting from Autumn Avina.
Avina averages 16.1 points per game, but it's only her 34th 3 taken this season and her 14th make. So she's not a tremendous threat from outside. Schwacke another 3 off the back iron, no good. And Avina tips that one out of bounds. And SNU will maintain possession with a fresh shot clock when we come back. 4:59 to go here in the first half. It's 29-26 SNU. We'll take time out and be right back after this. This is SNU basketball.
Army Reserve soldiers use their skills to make the Army even more capable and gain the tools to make themselves even more successful. Learn how at GoArmyReserve.com.
SNU holding a 3-point lead as we're halfway through the second quarter. Adrian Berry and Irene Perez back into the game for SNU as JC Soap takes a seat. Jones gets it into Perez in the corner. She's hounded by Autumn Avina. Ball goes through the hands of Schrupfer, and Mia Cherry comes away with it on the breakaway. Gets Irene Perez on the pump fake. Foul call on the floor.
You can see Perez really stretching out there, trying to keep her feet on the ground, but got her there with the pump fake. But they will line up anyway as SNU now with their 5th team foul.
Second foul on Irene Perez. Kennedy Gillette at the scorer's table, ready to check in for her. So Perez not in the game very long before she checks back out. Cherry, a 76% free throw shooter. That was her 18th attempt of the season, and she knocks down the second one as well. She's averaging 3.2 points per game in 15.2 minutes per game this season. And it's a 1-point game, 29-28, SNU leading this one. It's been a good back and forth battle so far. Berry for 3, and she knocks it down.
Strong, confident stroke there over the defender. SNU right now shooting the ball like nobody's business, shooting the ball like it's their go-to offensive strategy, and shooting the ball very well. Now 7 of 16 from 3 for 44%.
Free throw line jumper from Blankenship, and she got another one there. And Avina, very talented at finding the open player. Those those over-the-head cross-court passes. She's doing a great job there. Jones finds some space down low, puts up with the left hand. It's short. Blankenship has it, throws it over to Avina, and she corrals it on the sideline. And OBU down by 2 here. Blankenship, long free throw extended jumper, ties the score at 32.
And that's Blankenship's shot right now. She's getting the ball at the top of the key, back and forth on these possessions. You don't want to let her beat you around you, but SNU posts needing to close out just a little bit better because Blankenship making some money on that shot.
Great find from Madeline Schrupfer. Alexis Jones knocks down the little floater from the second block, and 6 of Blankenship's 8 points have come on those free throw line jumpers. Cherry dives, rejected by Nihus, and that's going to be a travel on Mia Cherry. Took a couple too many steps before that jump stop there. Another turnover for the Bison. That's their 5th. Good flash by Jones. Got into the body of Blankenship, and she'll go to the line for 2. SNU doing a nice job finding space in the paint there against this OBU defense, and it's resulted in some good looks at the basket so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out OBU's defense right now. Initially with a 2-3 look and maybe just a very flexible shell man with lots of switching. But regardless, it's let to a lot of SNU cuts to the back door, cuts to the basket. And SNU doing a very good job right now of taking advantage of those backdoor cut opportunities.
Jones goes 1 for 2 at the line again. And it's a 3-point SNU lead, 35-32. 2.5 minutes to go here in the first half. An entertaining back and forth game between the Bison and the Storm. SNU doing a great job sharing the ball. 10 of their 13 buckets have been assisted on. Blankenship unaware of the shot clock, and that's a shot clock violation for the Bison. Great defense from SNU, as OBU had no idea that the shot clock was about to expire.
Yeah, just on an island, no call there from anyone in the fans or even from her own team there, her own bench. Blankenship left on an island with the ball in her hands when the buzzer went off.
Jones holding up top. Now Schrupfer with it. Berry, no hesitation from the wing. For 3, she knocked it down. Adrian Berry with her third three of the first half gives her 11. That's on 6 attempts from the senior from Oklahoma City.
Berry with the quick release, a nice catch and pop on a quick three look.
Avina spins and gets the roll over Alexis Jones. Great defense from Alexis Jones, but Avina was just able to get that to go. Berry tries another one and she got it! That's her fourth of the first half. And again, Berry missed those first 2 3-pointers she took tonight to make her 8 of her last 32. But she's 4 for 5 since.
Yeah, we've been talking about SNU's offensive struggles as defense being their mainstay, but right now Adrian Berry stepping up and taking charge of this SNU offense, putting points on the board in a hurry.
Mia Cherry had the offensive rebound, but Schropfer just took it away from her. She goes coast to coast, missed the layup. Kennedy Gillette offensive rebound, she missed it. Rebound is tipped out to Schropfer. Abby Nehu's slow coming down. I think she got hit in the face. Berry, another three, just off the mark, heat check. And Katie Banks get the rebound to Avina, and who will slow it down. 30 seconds to go in the half. 41-34 SNU. Coach May imploring his bench to get loud for a stop here. Gillette with the deflection. 7 on the shot clock. OBU still with no idea. Farquhar throws it to Banks. She fires up a prayer at the shot clock buzzer. Barely ticked iron. Berry pushing tempo. 5 seconds to go in the half. She stops for 3. Off the mark. Schropfer, as she's fouled with 1/10 of a second on the clock. And Madeline Schropfer's going to go to the line for 2.
Maybe not the big crowd momentum shift that the open transition 3 would have been, but an opportunity for 2 at the line here. Big swing of momentum here for SNU on this nice little scoring run. Hope to close out the half here with a couple of free throws and really widen this margin going to the locker room.
Schropfer, an 80% free throw shooter, misses the first one. That's the second on Rayleigh Farquhar. And Schropfer missed both of them. Uncharacteristic for the senior. So a slight missed opportunity there at the end of the half, but big run there for SNU. A 9-2 run in the last 3.5 minutes to close the half. 41-34, SNU leads this one at the break. When we come back, we'll have first half stats and analysis to get you ready for the second half. You're listening to SNU Basketball. Welcome back to halftime here at the Sawyer Center. SNU leading by 7, 41-34. After a wild and entertaining first half, the SNU knocking down 9 3-pointers in the first half on 20 attempts. Of course, SNU coming into tonight's game 10th in the conference at 29.7% shooting from three-point range. So, of course, they would chuck up 20 3-point attempts in the first half there, Russ.
Yeah, of course, why not? Great play we've seen so far from Adrian Berry. 9 of those shots coming from her, 4 of 9 shooting, though, from 3 with 14 points. We talked at the top of the hour, Luke. For SNU, it's all about defense, but Adrian Berry coming out in this first half and trying to show us otherwise. 5 of 11 shooting, 14 points out of that starting lineup, and just dominant play from her. And the rest of SNU's team kind of catching the fever, too. Lots of great shooting from deep. This SNU offense looking very good in the first half.
SNU controlling the pace through their offensive production. Again, 41 points in the first half. Just shot 41.7% from the field for the first half and 2 of 6 from the foul line, but 12 assists on 15 made baskets. They did have 8 offensive rebounds, which resulted in 7 second chance points and only 2 turnovers. And another big key for SNU, Massey Beard picked up 2 fouls in a quick 2 minutes, and Irene Perez has 2 fouls, but no fouls for Abby Nehus and just 1 for Jones, Berry, and Schrupfer. So SNU in a good shape from a foul perspective as well, which has been an issue over the past couple games, just too many fouls for SNU.
Yeah, that's something we talked about last Saturday in the game. We saw some foul trouble earlier for a lot of SNU starters, and that's why we saw some of these names like Schwacke and Sarda and so much of Soap, Gillette and Beard even getting in foul trouble. We saw some Shield Night. So these girls now, after that game playing so well, getting some awesome opportunities. And now, Luke, you find yourself in the much more favorable situation where no one's fully in foul trouble, but these girls have proven what they can do on the bench. We're excited about their opportunities, giving them some opportunities to contribute off the bench. And SNU playing pretty deep off the bench right now and playing very well.
8 Crimson Storm players have scored out of the 10 who saw the floor in the first half. Adrian Berry leading the way with 14 points. J.C. Soap and Alexis Jones each with 6 points for OBU. They shot 52% in the first half, did have 6 turnovers, but SNU forced a couple shot clock violations in there as well. Key for the OBU, both Carissa Price and Katie Custer with 2 fouls in the first half, and both of them picked up their second foul late or at about the same time. Custer had 10 points in the first half, Victoria Blankenship 8, Autumn Avena 7, Price had 5. So balanced effort from OBU, which isn't a very deep team. Again, missing Michaela Schulenberger, who's out for the season with a broken pinky. And Russ, we've seen bad third quarters from SNU the past 2 games. How big is this third quarter for the Crimson Storm?
Well, and big. You know, we're going into this third quarter with a little bit of a lead, a little bit of a swagger, a little bit of momentum. But you know as well as I do, Luke, 3-point shooting is something that can it can come on strong and it can go away just as quickly. So SNU, if they're looking to rely on the 3-ball moving forward, not something that's super reliable, hoping they can stand up tall with the defense but continue to find answers on offense, even if that doesn't mean shooting the ball from deep.
Massey Beard starting the second half for SNU. Abby Nehus looked like she took a shot to the face from Victoria Blankenship. Incidental, of course, late in the first half. She is on the bench right now. We'll get word on her status for the second half here in just a little bit. But for now, Massey Beard into the game for SNU. And Adrian Berry fires up a quick 3-pointer. It's off the mark, no good. And Katie Custer clears for OBU. Mia Cherry starting the second half for Katie Banks for OBU. Aside that, it's the same starting lineup. So tall task for Massey Beard in the post to contend with Victoria Blankenship.
Yeah, whether it's been her elbow jump shooting or even just her facilitating, Blankenship, someone you got to keep your eye on, someone you got to watch. A great box out there from Beard. Nice little save there from Schrupfer, but SNU is running the other way.
I think Schrupfer a little uncertain if Berry deflected that on the shot by Custer. But probably wise to do that. We'll see what SNU is able to do against this OBU defense. Berry gets inside, finds a lane to the best bucket, and she's fouled from behind. That foul is going to go on, I believe, Autumn Avina from the backside. So Berry, or excuse me, that's going to be Katie Custer. That is going to be her third. So a big moment here early in the third quarter as Katie Custer picks up her third foul. Adrian Berry knocks down the first free throw, and Katie Banks will quickly come get Custer out of the game.
Yeah, and an interesting storyline here now. Not necessarily deep foul trouble, but so far with OBU only playing about 7 deep. Could be an interesting storyline as these players need rest with SNU really pushing the tempo, and as they may need breaks with foul trouble, where will OBU turn? Blankenship working hard down there on the freshman Beard.
Good double from Jones. Another knock away from Blankenship, who gives it a little side eye to the ref. Sweeping hook shot across the lanes, no good. Great defense there from Beard. Not a lot needed from Massey Beard there, just to stand her ground. Jones working. Beard from the foul line, nowhere to go with it. A 30-second violation is called on Alexis Jones. Coach Tripp may a little frustrated with Jones not moving the ball there. Inbounds pass deflected out of bounds by Perez. And if you're just joining us, SNU 9 of 20 from three-point range in the first half, held a 7-point halftime lead, and the lead is currently 9. Abby Nehus did not start the second half. We will get word on her status soon. Banks tries a three. It's off the mark. Perez clears for SNU. And the Storm off and running. Strupfer probing. Finds Berry on the backside, wide open for 2.
A great find there from Strupford as she falls across the baseline. A good press in transition. Great running of the ball there. Good fill of the lane. And that's a great layup there from SNU in transition.
The timeout for the Bison. There's going to be a full timeout here, so we'll take timeout too. SNU extending their lead to 11. It's 45-34 Crimson Storm. We'll be right back after this.
Okay, guys, remember, no hard selling, no high pressure. Serenading, good. Leave that to Sheldon, all right? Hugs, side hugs. Normal. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. You know, these guys may not look like much, but they are some of the greatest guys.
How about a hug?
Diffie, driven by family since 1954.
This is where I use the skills I've learned. This is where the moments I love happen. This is where I grew up, and it's also where I serve.
In the U.S. Army Reserve, you train at least 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. Here, you learn the skills to lead and succeed in life while staying close to home. Part-time service, full-time success. GoArmyReserve.com.
SNU extending their lead to 11 as we start the third quarter. Adrian Berry with all 4 of SNU's points coming out of the locker room. It's 45-34. SNU leading, OBU inbounding on the baseline. Autumn Avina working it up against the defense of Alexis Jones. Finds Blankenship. Good spin move inside and gets the shot to fall. And Massey Beard wide open behind the defense. Blew the layup.
SNU looking to push tempo right now. They're a tough miss in transition, but that's what SNU wants to do right now. Really make OBU get out and run. Use some of that energy. A great strong board there by Massey Beard. Now Irene Perez taking it the other direction.
Perez, kick, wing, Schrupfer, she'll drive in. Reach across by Cherry, no call. Beard's short baseline jumper is no good. Banks has the miss, and she's pushing for OBU. Cherry, foul line jumper is long. Rebound tipped around, controlled by Blankenship. Offensive foul, Victoria Blankenship, as Massey Beard took the charge there.
Credit to Beard doing an excellent job in the low post right now. A couple of tough missed shots on the offensive end, But on defense for her, we're seeing a completely different half from some of the minutes we saw from her in the first.
Second foul on SNU, second foul on Blankenship. The SNU lead is 9. 6:45 to go, third quarter. Perez trying to probe on Mia Cherry. She spins, puts up the shot. Looked like she was fouled, no call. Blankenship comes down with the rebound. Long lead pass up ahead to Avina. Stops short of Alexis Jones and missed it. Beard clears for SNU. Alexis Jones will set up the offensive set here. Gets inside, nice left-hand scoop around Blankenship, and she puts it in. Beautiful drive from Alexis Jones, just probing for space. Carissa Price with the long reception there. Blankenship fades away on Beard. Rebound is off the rim, no good. Avina gets in there and gets the rebound away from Barry and Schrupfer. Oh, between the legs dribble by Avina. She blew the layup, gets her own miss, puts it up, no good, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, the rim not being very helpful there for OBU. But she'll get the call shooting there among the trees. Opportunity to go for the line for Avina for 2.
Autumn Avina, 76% free throw shooter this season. First one's up and good. Katie Custer into the game for Blankenship. Again, Custer with 3 fouls right now for OBU, so an opportunity for SNU to go right at her and pick up that key 4th foul. Avina hits both free throws, gives her 9 points today. It's 47-38, SNU still maintaining a 9-point lead. OBU, one of their last 11 from the field. JC Soap is into the game for Adrian Berry as well for SNU. Schrupfer gets it down low to Beard. Beautiful cross-court skip pass to Perez. She does not pull the trigger for 3. 5 on the shot clock. Beard has to force up the 3. It's long. Bounced off the top of the backboard and comes back down. Custer spins on Beard. Wild left-handed shot, and she got it to fall.
That's a nice spin move there. A tough look for Beard as the only one back in transition now. SNU giving up a couple of quick transitions on some poor shooting. 1 of 5 now for their last 5 attempts. 1 of 5 on their last 3-point attempts as well.
Jones is rejected by Banks. And here come the Bison with a chance to cut into this 7-point lead. Cherry back to Price in the corner for 3. She knocked it down. And it's a 4-point game just like that.
Yeah, good seal in the corner, left Price wide open, but now SNU, a couple of empty possessions needing to look for a way to respond.
Very quick 7-0 burst for the Bison over the last minute and a half. Schrupfer's rejected by Avina. The ball goes out of bounds to OBU.
I guess they're saying that ball came back down on Schrupfer.
Tripmay doesn't like the explanation, but that'll take us to a stoppage and play either way. 4:23 to go third quarter. SNU leading by 4, 47-43. This is SNU basketball.
Army Reserve soldiers use their skills to make the Army even more capable and gain the tools to make themselves even more successful. Learn how at GoArmyReserve.com.
OBU in the midst of a 7-0 run has cut an 11-point lead down to 4 as the Bison will be inbounding on the far baseline. SNU one of their last 7 from the field.
This seems to be Trent May's response here. A lot of times when SNU is struggling on offense, trying to push tempo, a little full court action, and try to get OBU to play a little quicker, play to their speed, maybe force some errors and press tempo.
Avina, good baseline pass to Price. A good cut from the corner for Price, who puts it in for 2. She's up to 10 points now, third Bison in double figures. Perez probing on Cherry, who is stripped but fouled. It's going to go on Mia Cherry, who looked like she got away with that one clean.
I
believe that foul call was coming before the actual strip there.
Yeah, that one got a groan of disapproval from the OBU bench, but I think maybe the call before the clean strip. Now SNU inbounding under the basket.
Jones gets it into Soap. Schrupfer working on Avina. Gets around her, finds Alexis Jones, and she goes up and is fouled. OBU screaming for a hook on Schrupfer. Hooking her arm around the back of Avina. 4th team foul on SNU. That's the first foul on Autumn Avina. Alexis Jones back to the line. Knocks down the first one. She split her first 2 trips to the line. She hits the first one here. And knocks down the second one to break this trend. She's got 10 to go along with 4 assists, and SNU's lead is back to 4. Custer creates a little space on Beard, missed the floater in the lane. Jones pushing tempo for SNU. Goes right around the defense and lays it in with the left hand.
Great coast-to-coast there from Jones as she just diced right through the middle of that OBU defense. Straight to the bucket, no one stopping ball.
Cherry trying to cross over Perez. Lost the ball but got it back. Now Avina wide out on the left wing. Does not use the Custer screen. Good defense from Jones. Banks driving on Soap. Traffic clears, but she kicks to Price for 3. It's no good. Soap tips the rebound to herself, and it's a 2-on-2 break. Soap steps around Custer and lays it in. A beautiful Euro step from JC Soap.
Got her on what looked like a little head fake there. Great take to the hoop.
And Banks gets the baseline jumper to fall on the other end. Back and forth we go, Russ. This has been a fun one. Certainly a little bit different from what we saw in Shawnee. A little bit low scoring in regulation. It ended up a 78-76 SNU win, but that was courtesy of double overtime. We're already at 53-47 as Perez goes baseline and gets the bounce. Gotta love that home roll.
Yeah, both teams right now looking to push tempo and scoring early and often. A couple of great transition plays for both teams. OBU with the little baseline pop. Now that time is taken straight at SNU for the layup. Both teams racking up points on the scoreboard.
Jones drives on Banks. She's got the speed advantage in that matchup for sure. Custer clears, gets it up to Avina. A little bit of a numbers advantage for OBU. Kick in the corner, Price. Good closeout from Perez. Now Custer lets Soap fly by. She pulls the trigger for 3. It's short. Mia Cherry, the offensive rebound, and OBU will reset.
After that driving layup by Avina, that will be her 11th point now. 5 OBU players in double digits in scoring. Just spreading the love all around, finding different players to get involved.
Price for 3 is no good, and that foul's going to go on Massey Beard, pushing through the Autumn Avina screen. It's going to be the 3rd on Beard. 2nd team foul on SNU. And Blankenship will check in for Custer with 1:17 to go here in the 3rd quarter. They go right into Blankenship with Beard with those 3 fouls. Now Avina will hold up top. Again, entry pass into Blankenship. Kick back to Avina. Elbow jumper in and out. No good. Schrupfer clears for the Storm.
Again, another tough bounce for OBU.
Schrupfer trying to fire it into the baseline to Perez, deflected by Blankenship out of bounds. Schrupfer, her usual 6 rebounds and 4 assists so far in this one. Perez hounded by Avina. Beard working on the block, behind the back pass to Alexis Jones, who dives in with the left hand and gets it to go.
What a very hard body play there from Irene Perez. I think they're going to get her for the foul on Avina. And again, something you risk with the full court press. Another foul for SNU. A good while away from the basket here, Luke.
Katie Custer into the game for Mia Cherry, and Perez was set up to draw a charge, but instead just put Avina on her back. It didn't look like she had given Avina the space to make a move anyway, so regardless of if she had gone to the floor in an attempt to draw the charge, I believe that probably would have been a block regardless. Price in the corner, trying to go baseline on Jones, spins away from her, shovels it over to Blankenship for the layup. And it's a 6-point game. Shot clock is off, so we're down to 15 seconds here in the third quarter. Jones probing, kick corner. JC Soap for 3, it's short. Push in the back on Avina, and they're going to call Schrupfer for the foul. Avina with a clear two-handed shove on Schrupfer, going for that rebound, and that's going to be Madeline Schrupfer's second, 4th team foul, and OBU will inbound on the baseline. Avina pushing tempo with 3 seconds on the clock. Getting across, fires up for 3 from the top of the key. That's an air ball, and that's how the third quarter will end. So SNU holds serve in the third quarter. Lead only dwindled by 1 there, and Russ, that's a good trend for SNU that we haven't seen the past 2 games. But we'll talk about that on the other side as we get you ready for the fourth quarter. SNU leading this one 57-51. We'll be back after this. SNU leading by 6 as we head to the final period here at the Sawyer Center. And Russ, after 2 rough third quarters last week, a good third quarter from SNU there, holding serve, and 17-16 OBU won that particular quarter. But again, after the last 2 third quarters, you'll take that for SNU.
Yeah, you take that as a win over this home stretch. We've seen some good play in the first half, great play in the first quarter, especially for SNU. They've been very good at hopping out to early advantages, but really struggling in the third. So 17-16 split, that's a big win for SNU, standing tough in the third, especially with Abby Nehus on the bench for the entire duration of that.
Blankenship missed a couple short shots and then picks up the foul on the offensive rebound attempt. That's her third, first on OBU in the fourth quarter. And Massey Beard standing tall there in the post. And Abby Nehus appears to be unavailable here in the second half after taking a shot to the face head area late in the second quarter. She's still on the bench. We don't have any word as to her injury, but it certainly appears to be that she is done for the night. Soap drives, spins, ball goes out to Schrupfer. 5 on the shot clock, and she is going to be fouled on the drive by Autumn Avina. That's her second foul. And Avina showing off everything she's got tonight. 11 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists for OBU. She averages 8.5 per game this season, and you can see why with the court vision she displays for the Bison. Shrupford tries to drive past her. Wild shot's no good. Massey Beard battling for the rebound. Price saves it, but it goes out of bounds. And SNU will maintain possession here with 16 on the shot clock. Did not reset. So Alexis Jones inbounding on the baseline with 9 minutes to go in this one.
Yeah, Avina been a big, strong impact here for OBU. When SNU has forced tempo, Avina has been the one to respond. As they'll get a loose ball foul potentially here on OBU on the rebound.
Irene Perez battling for the offensive rebound was held by Katie Custer, and that's her 4th. Perez trying to get around her, and from this vantage point, it looked like Custer just kind of wrapped her arm a little bit around the side of Perez to prevent her from doing so. So big moment here with 9 minutes to go. Massey Beard with a strong move, missed the shot, but a good strong move from Massey Beard there. Carissa Price with it. Finds herself unguarded in the corner, missed the 3. Alexis Jones has it. Jones has Soap wide open up ahead. She missed her, gets it to Perez instead. Perez is bumped and fouled by Carissa Price.
Yeah, this is a big time right here for SNU. Custer, not necessarily the facilitator that Avina is that we were talking about, but Custer, a big contributor in the offensive scoring column. We talked about her shooting abilities in the last game, and a big opportunity for SNU right now is a wide open under the basket layup on the inbounds. JC Soap finding the open court.
JC Soap, 5th straight game in double figures. She's up to 10 and then commits the foul on Price. Bit of a body foul there before the blocked shot. SNU extends their lead to 8. Just the first foul on JC Soap. And that's something that she's really done well here as her minutes have gone up and her production has increased, as she's learning to play defense without fouling. As we can see, she's played 15 minutes so far this evening and just their first foul. A rare thing for the freshman, as we've seen the struggles on the opposite end of the spectrum with Massey. Price knocks down both free throws. It's 59-53 SNU. 3 Crimson Storm players in double figures, led by Adrian Berry's 18. Hit 4 threes in the first half. Didn't play a ton in the third quarter. Beard probing on Blankenship, spins, rejected by Blankenship. And Price comes away with it. Price driving down the lane. She's blocked by Perez, still got the shot up. Blankenship gets the offensive rebound. She's fouled. That's going to be on the floor. And I believe they're going to get Shrupfer here for the foul. And that's going to be her 3rd. Second team foul on the Crimson Storm here. OBU already at 4 fouls here in the quarter. Avina gets it into Banks. Very long on the shot. JC Soap has the rebound. Jones has it taken away by Price. The officials are going to get Carissa Price with the foul call. She vehemently disagrees, and that is going to be 4 on Carissa Price. So 4 on Price, 4 on Custer, 3 on Blankenship is the foul situation for OBU. And Alexis Jones knocks down another free throw. She's 5 of 7 from the foul line tonight. Up to 15 points and 5 assists. Price will take a seat. She's over there with Custer. And Rayleigh Farquhar into the game.
Yeah, tough physical game here so far, and with only going 7 deep, OBU, foul trouble is going to be something you run into, something that we're going to see how they respond to, especially if they begin losing Price and Custer or even Blankenship to the bench. How are they going to use these other players in big minutes?
We got a foul underneath on SNU, and that's going against Massey Beard. That's going to be number 4 on Beard. Third team foul on SNU, and Beard right there on the doorstep of fouling out.
And that's a tough one on Beard. After those first 2 quick fouls we talked about, Beard has really stepped up, really cleaned up the play, and has really been a good challenge for Blankenship in the paint here, especially in the third quarter.
Avina controlling right wing, guarded by Alexis Jones. Entry pass into Blankenship. She spins, she's hacked. Missed the shot. She'll go to the line for 2. It's going to go on Alexis Jones. That's just her second foul tonight. So Victoria Blankenship at the line for 2. She's a 73% free throw shooter this season. Leads the team in makes and attempts coming into tonight's game. But this is her first trip to the line tonight, and she missed the first one. So with no Nihus the rest of the way, Massey Beard with 4. Be interesting to see what Trent May does if, in fact, Beard does pick up that 5th foul. Do you go with Zoe Shield Knight, the freshman from Gore, Oklahoma, or do you bring Adrian Berry back into the game, who has not been in the game for the past 6 or 7 minutes of game time?
Yeah, we've seen Coach May go a couple times to the small ball look on defense, but I can't help but wonder with Blankenship and then the presence that she is in that paint, that small ball may not be the approach that May wants to go with.
Avina drives through Alexis Jones, who hit the deck. No call there. She gets the shot off the glass to go. It's a 5-point game. SNU leading 61-56. Avina nearly had the steal. And then Jones is called for
and she can't
a foul, pushing Avina away from the ball, trying to get the recovery.
She can't believe it.
Trent May can't believe it. That's 3rd foul on Alexis Jones, and OBU with the ball again, down by 5.
Fortunate for her, not really in foul trouble, but a tough call there, as doesn't feel like much is going her way right now.
And you could hear Trent May's what from here. He was shocked, to say the least. Avina open for 3, in and out, no good. Beard gathers in the rebound.
Big dry spell here for both teams. 1 of 7 on the last 7 for SNU and for Oklahoma Baptist. It's been a tough stretch here in the 4th.
Jones gets inside, unable to get the shot to fall.
And now they're going to get Schrupfer.
That's going to be number 4 on Madeline Schrupfer. Fouls piling up now for SNU, and SNU unable to get the call on one end and quickly gives up the foul at the other. So Autumn Avina at the line for 2.
And just when you started talking some legitimate foul strategy for SNU and the way that OBU had been in some foul trouble, now looking at Schrupfer and Beard, 2 major players in this SNU offense and defense, in a little bit of foul trouble on their own. So a little foul chess game being played here with a 4-point lead, 6 minutes left in the 4th.
Avina hits both of them. It's a 3-point game, 61-58, 5:50 to play and counting. Price and Custer back into the game for OBU, both with 4 fouls each. Soap probing. Beard, cross-court pass to Perez. Thought about the 3. Now she's probing as well. Gets it to Soap, who dives in and gets the left-handed shot to fall as the shot clock was winding down. Avina quickly back the other way. Kick, Price, right wing, 3, in and out, no good. Alexis Jones has the rebound. Trent May telling her to slow it down and run some clock here.
Yeah, buckets not falling really that quickly for either team. Right now, SNU with a small lead. Running some clock could be to their advantage. 1 for 8 on the last few Oklahoma Baptist shots, 1 for 9 on their last 9 threes.
Soap gets inside and gets the blocking foul on Farquhar, I believe. Yes. Third foul on Rayleigh Farquhar will take us to a timeout on the court. 4:48 to go. 63-58 SNU. JC Soap heading to the line for 2 when we come back after this.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championship Tournament returns to the Bruin Fieldhouse in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, March 7th through the 10th. It's all on the line as the league's top teams battle for the conference title and an automatic spot in the NCAA Division II Basketball Regionals. For ticket information and to follow GAC basketball throughout the season, visit GreatAmericanConference.com. The GAC Basketball Tournament, March 7th through the 10th. The Great American Conference Basketball Championship Tournament returns to the Bruin Fieldhouse in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, March 7th through the 10th. It's all on the line as the league's top teams battle for the conference title and an automatic spot in the NCAA Division II Basketball Regionals. For ticket information and to follow GAC basketball throughout the season, visit GreatAmericanConference.com. The GAC Basketball Tournament, March 7th through the 10th.
SNU leading this one 63-58 with 4:48 to go here at the Sawyer Center, and what's been an exciting game. We've got a little bit of foul trouble both ways for the Bison and the Crimson Storm. And Russ, it's a pretty evenly matched game, and we've been fortunate to be able to be here for this one, and we look forward to a big matchup for the guys as well as JC Soap heads to the line for 2 free throws, shooting 70% from the line this season. She's got 12 tonight. Again, her 5th straight game in double figures. She knocks down the first free throw.
Yeah, kind of an interesting flow to the game so far. We talked about that shooting spark in the first half for SNU. 4 for 8 from 3 in the first, 5 for 12 from 3 in the second quarter, and then 0 for 4 since then. And so an interesting little flow there as the beginning, a lot of scoring for SNU, and now just kind of a slugfest as we're locked and grinding kind of slow here in the fourth. But now both teams looking for a way to get on top with only about 4.5 minutes left in regulation. I think they got Perez on that one, a tough reach-in call. And right now, trend of the game, SNU not getting any foul calls their way.
Going to be number 4 on Irene Perez as well now. So she joins the 4 foul club with Schrupfer and Massey Beard, along with Carissa Price and Katie Custer for OBU. Price knocks down the first free throw.
It's a lot of girls on the floor right now with foul trouble.
Second one's no good. So it's a 6-point game now as Schrupfer corrals the rebound and brings it up.
And OBU's going to pressure Schrupfer, trying to get something easy maybe, or a little frustration foul, a little turnover, but Avina now all over Schrupfer.
Soap with 10 on the shot clock. She drives in, gets underneath Banks, and she's fouled by Banks. A little bit of a late whistle there. I believe that was the right call.
Only Banks first, so she was not one of the ones we were watching holding our breath, but an opportunity for free throws here for SNU and an opportunity for OBU to not further themselves into foul trouble.
First free throw is good for JC Soap, and it's kind of fascinating to watch, Russ, as the past few games have gone on. It's on the offensive end. At times it's give the ball to JC and get out of the way, something we certainly never would have expected at the beginning of the season.
Now, she's really come on late here and really proven herself in that bench role. We've seen what kind of a shooter she can be, and even recently, the way that she drives to the bucket with authority, a little hanging layup sometimes, some very acrobatic looks, and a lot of other times getting herself to the free throw line.
Offensive foul called on Rayleigh Farquhar, creating some space from Madeline Schrupfer. That's her 4th. Official right there on top of that one. We're under 4 minutes to go. SNU holding an 8-point lead. We've seen this 5 on the court for some time. Soap, step back for 3. She got it! JC Soap up to 19 points.
And what a game for Soap. We were just talking about her offensive versatility, but that's a dagger right there from 3 from Soap. Nothing doing from 3 so far in this half until that shot. Soap putting SNU, though, on her back and carrying them through this fourth with her offensive production.
Timeout on the court, 3:36 to go in this one. SNU building the lead back to 11 at 70-59. We'll be right back after this. It's the JC Soap Show here at the Sawyer Center as the freshman from Stillwell is up to 19 points for the Crimson Storm. Personal 5-0 run. It's a 9-2 run over the last 2+ minutes for SNU, which has extended the lead to 11. Carissa Price, corner 3 is good. Big response there for the Bison. 70-62, 3:15 to go in this one, and what's been an entertaining game. Alexis Jones drives right down the lane with the left hand is good. That left hand for Alexis Jones just lethal tonight in the paint for SNU. Which leads that category 26-20. Avina, good entry pass to Custer, fades away and knocks it down. An update from Weatherford Southwestern, well on their way, 83-58 over Northwestern, which means that SNU holding on here in the last 2.5 minutes will punch the Crimson Storm's ticket to Bartlesville in March. That's going to be a foul on Mia Cherry, just her 3rd. And Alexis Jones will go to the free throw line for 2. 2:32 to go in this one. SNU leading by 8. Chance to push that back up to double digits here for Jones, who's 6 of 8 from the line tonight. Knocks down the first one. Again, came into tonight's game just 63.7% from the line, but that has been improving over the past month or so. And she knocks down them both. Quick timeout for Trent May, and that's going to be a full timeout as well. So SNU leading 74-64, 2:32 to go in this one. We'll take timeout with them. This is SNU basketball. OBU inbounding on the baseline, down 10 with 2:32 to go. SNU putting the screws to the bison defensively here in the fourth quarter. OBU just 3 of 10 from the field. SNU just 4 of 10 themselves. Avina straight away for 3, and she knocked it down.
OBU trying to return the favor a little bit here with some pressure as they've got Schrupfer trapped in the corner. I think they're going to call a foul.
That's going to be number 5 on Carissa Price. Just not a smart decision from the sophomore from Carl Albert High School. Tried to beat Schrupfer to the sideline. Schrupfer smartly initiated the contact there, and with Price moving the way she was, there was no room for Price to get an offensive foul call. There's one of those plays you learn with experience. Schrupfer knocks down the first free throw.
Yeah, good heady play there in the corner. Just holding my breath seeing the numbers 1-2 being shown, but both players in the situation with 4 fouls. But Schrupfer will take the opportunity and make good of both free throws. Now SNU back in their full court press.
9-point game, lob up ahead to Farquhar. And that's going to foul somebody out. It's going to be either Schrupfer or Beard. And it's going to be Madeline Schrupfer. And that is it for the senior. She finishes with 5 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. And Adrian Berry coming back in for the first time in quite some time.
Yeah, she's having a great game through the first half. I just didn't see her very much in the third or fourth now. Put on a scoring clinic for us early. 18 points now in the game, even though she's only played about 21 minutes. But get to see her here for the last 2.
Farquhar hits the 2 free throws. 7-point game, 76-69. Soap boots the ball, but boots it right to Adrian Berry.
You couldn't draw that one up if you tried.
Wonder if the SNU soccer team needs a extra hand or foot. Soap working with it, probes into the lane. Kick in the corner to Berry. She's got 10 on the shot clock, and she palmed it. Was about to make a pass and got caught hesitating there. So it's a 7-point game. OBU inbounding in front of the SNU bench. And Soap knocks it away from Cherry. Cherry saves it on the baseline to Custer, who gets it over to Avina. Avina quickly, corner, Farquhar, 3. It's off the mark, no good. And a good box out by Massey Beard. Oh, and they get the foul on Massey Beard.
Oh, that's tough. Trying to box out there. I thought SNU had a great play going. Forced the transition 3 with a 3-on-2. And I thought for sure they were going to get Blankenship on the over the back, but they'll call it on Massey Beard.
From our vantage point, there was nothing but a clean box out there. I'm not sure what that official was looking at, but Kennedy Gillette will check in now for Beard. So Beard and Schrupfer both gone. Irene Perez still has 4 fouls. Farquhar and Custer with 4 for OBU. 1:34 to go. It's a 7-point game.
We talked about what Trent May would do if he lost Massey Beard. Looking at Kennedy Gillette, going with that small ball defense look that we've seen some over the last few weeks. Gillette, a very strong defender, although not technically a post. They use her a lot in small ball, quick defensive settings, and so really going to help out here with the full court press.
Perez guarded, picked up full court by Blankenship. Gets past half court, no issues. Drives in, missed the shot. Gillette crashes the offensive glass. No. Mia Cherry coming the other way. OBU looking to cut a 5-point lead down. Custer, deep 3-pointer, short. Gets her own miss. Kicks back up top of Vina, guarded closely by Jones. Vina steps inside the 3-point line and knocks down the long 2. It's a 3-point game with a minute to play. Another great one between the Bison and Crimson Storm here.
OBU closing this one out, the little 6-0 run in the last minute. And now we've got a 3-point game here with 1 minute left. Tie up on defense will go SNU's way. But OBU with a chance here in striking distance.
Looked like the clock started prematurely.
Last week, Luke, we watched SNU in a couple of close game situations. We watched on Thursday night as they were able to pick up they dropped a close win, and Saturday they were able to pick up the close win. So another opportunity to watch SNU in crunch time.
Perez picking up her dribble short there. Fortunate to get the foul there on Avina. Will send Alexis Jones back to the line, and Perez needs to, if she's going to hand off like that, needs to set a better perimeter to not allow Avina in there. So Jones with an opportunity to extend this to a 2-possession game, and she does that with the first free throw. And Trip May calls a timeout here. We'll keep it here, 30-second timeout. So one more free throw coming for Alexis Jones. It's 77-73 SNU with 53.6 seconds to go. And Russ, SNU has, for all intents and purposes, done a nice job this season in these close games. I mean, we saw the double overtime game in Shawnee earlier this season, but overall, SNU, when things have come down to the wire, SNU's been fortunate to come out on the top side more often than not. Saturday or last Thursday was the first time we see them come up on the short side.
Yeah, and just a couple of tough back-to-back possessions for them in that game resulted in the tough, close loss. But right now, SNU on top, 4-point lead, opportunity to make it 5, and just even though giving up this quick little run to Oklahoma Baptist, in a very good position to close this one out.
Still plenty of time here as Jones hits the second free throw. It's a 5-point game. Now OBU will take timeout to advance the ball. So OBU will be inbounding on the sideline in front of us after this 30-second timeout. So 5-point game here. Plenty of time for OBU to get any sort of shot they want. And again, for SNU, OBU clearly in the bonus, and Irene Perez has 4 fouls, but everybody else, no issues on that front. Just to reset, Alexis Jones up to 22 points. She's 10 of 12 from the free throw line, 6 of 12 from the field. She got a team-high 5 assists. Adrian Berry's at 18 points and JC Soap at 19 points. Those three are joined on the court by Perez and Gillette. Inbound comes to Farquhar. She's guarded by Berry. Custer, good close from Alexis Jones. Avina steps inside. Long two's no good. Berry with the rebound. Gets the pass over to Soap. Quickly up ahead to Alexis Jones. And she's grabbed by Avina, and Alexis Jones will go back to the free throw line with a chance to push this lead to 7. Make it a 3-possession game. Big defense there, and a huge closeout by Alexis Jones on that pass to Custer, who had a little bit of space on Gillette, but a good closeout by Alexis Jones forced her to pass it up.
Yeah, I think that Custer 3 was exactly what they were looking for. And Custer willing to shoot deep, willing to shoot over people. A great option here in late game 3 situations, but credit SNU for that closeout and the empty possession.
Jones misses the second. Blankenship grabs the rebound, and timeout quickly called by OBU, and that will advance the ball once again to the sideline right in front of us. So 6-point game, 36.5 seconds to go. Certainly nothing close to over here. With SNU, if they can knock down some free throws and play a little bit of defense here on this possession, should walk away with another win here at the Sawyer Center tonight. But if you're OBU, who are you looking for here, Russ?
Well, I think we watched on that last play them looking for Custer, but SNU all over that. But right now, if you're OBU, you got to trade 3s for 2s. There's not a lot of time left. Custer and Avina are your 2 that have hit 3s in this one. Those are maybe your first 2 options. maybe alternately looking for Banks or Farquhar. But I'm looking for the quick three, if not a quick screen and pick to Custer for a three.
Custer has it, guarded by Perez. Quick dump down to Blankenship, and she's bumped and fouled by Gillette. And Blankenship will go to the line with an opportunity for a three-point play. Just 6 seconds ran off the clock there. Not much contact there from Gillette.
No, that's a tough call on Gillette. Three-point play that OBU was looking for in that situation. If you're SNU, they dump that ball down, and you maybe got to let them have those 2 points.
Blankenship knocks down the free throw, so it's a three-point game with 30 seconds to play. Barry gets it into Soap, and she is fouled by Katie Banks. Soap inviting the foul there. Love to see the freshman with the steely resolve. So Soap goes to the line, looking for her 20th point of the night. 19 points tonight is already her career high. First free throw is good, gives her 20 for the first time in her young career. She'll get one more, so already a two-possession game here for SNU at 80-76. And she got them both. SNU 21 of 26 from the foul line tonight. Alexis Jones, terrific defense on Autumn Avena. She's driving baseline, finds Farquhar. She fires up a three. It's off, no good. And Gillette is called for the foul, battling for the rebound with Blankenship. Not really sure what else Kennedy Gillette could do there.
But now with 15 seconds left, Blankenship will go to the line for two, trying to cut it down to just a 6-point, two-possession game. But OBU run out of time fast here.
This one's big. She knocked it down, so a one-possession game again at 81-78. So SNU still with some work to do at the foul line. .7 seconds to go. SNU up 81-78. And with some good defense on the other end, one more trip to the foul line could do it. Just have to make sure you get the ball in cleanly here, Russ, and not in a compromising position, as OBU does have the possession arrow here, so you don't want to get trapped and get tied up.
Yeah, the jump ball goes in the favor of OBU right now. So if you're OBU coming out of this timeout, obviously foul is last case scenario, but looking for a steal, a tie up, anything, trying to pressure SNU because the ball in your hands right here to take a three is definitely what you want.
SNU inbounding on the sidelines after advancing it, and you know, in this situation, I almost would say you'd rather have the baseline to be able to run the baseline a little bit because you're not too concerned with the 10-second violation at this point. You're going to be fouled before that anyway.
Yeah.
But Alexis Jones gets it into Adrian Berry. Now back to Alexis Jones, and she's fouled by Custer, and that's going to be number 5 on Custer, so that eliminates Custer as a possibility for the last shot. So Mia Cherry will come in for her. So Alexis Jones with an opportunity to perhaps put this one on ice. First one is good, and it's a two-possession game. 13.6 seconds to go. Did the clock run there? I thought it was 13.6 seconds before the inbounds.
I'm not sure, and you're right. That doesn't feel like it was as many points as seconds as should have run off.
Avena pulls up for three, air ball, and a good box out from Gillette, preventing the offensive rebound. And SNU, barring a miracle here from OBU, is going to come out with a win. Jones gets it into Soap. Soap gives it back to Jones, and Jones will run out the clock. Hello, Bartlesville. It's a good time to see you for the first time. SNU with the win, and a loss by Northwestern State has clinched a spot in the Great American Conference Championship later in March up in Bartlesville. 82-78, the final score here for the Crimson Storm over OBU. And Russ, just really a great game, back and forth. SNU, a little bit tale of two halves in this one. First half, 9 of 20 from the three-point line. And in the second half, 20 of 22 from the foul line, and it was clutch foul shooting by J.C. Soap and Alexis Jones down the stretch that clinched this one for SNU. And, you know, not much to say about this one besides what a great game.
Yeah, just a great game, and we saw so many different aspects of it. We got to see a lot of that strong SNU defense. We got to see a lot of great defense from Massey Beard in the paint as she was working with some foul trouble on the much bigger, much tougher Blankenship. And we got to see some incredible shooting, like you said, in that first half. SNU shooting 10 for 25 on the game, just getting the ball to fall for them. But a great, well-rounded game for SNU, especially on that offensive end.
3 players in double figures for SNU, led by Alexis Jones, who had 24 points. She went 12 of 16 from the foul line. She also had a team-high 5 assists, chipped in 4 rebounds as well. Adrian Berry had 18 points and went 4 of 9 from three-point range in the first half. Missed her only 3-point shot in the second half and went 2 for 2 from the foul line in the second half. Didn't see a lot of court time in the second 20 minutes, but still was on the court there at the end and played some really good defense down the stretch. And then, of course, the freshman J.C. Soap, 21 points off the bench, 3 of 6 from three-point range, 6 of 6 from the foul line. And there's just not enough that you can really say about the freshman at this point and how she's been playing the past few weeks.
Yeah, just outstanding play. Like we've talked about, her defense without fouling has really come along to match her offensive game. Just a great stroke from 3 and really confident driving to the bucket, getting fouled, free throw opportunities. A big night for her tonight with 21.
For OBU, Victoria Blankenship and Autumn Avina each with 20 points. Blankenship with 13 rebounds. Avina 7 rebounds, 9 assists. Just a terrific performance from each of those two. Katie Custer with 14 points, most of those coming in the first half. Also had 7 rebounds. Then Carissa Price, 16 points. Rounds out the scoring for OBU. OBU shot 42%. They were 6 of 22 from three-point range, 20 of 22 from the foul line. Meanwhile, at SNU, 40% from the field, 10 of 25 from three-point range, and 22 of 28 from the foul line themselves. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by sophomore guard Alexis Jones, get her thoughts on tonight's win, and then we'll also be joined by head coach Trent May to get his thoughts on another big win for SNU. Again, the final 82-78 SNU over OBU. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. We're joined now by sophomore guard Alexis Jones, 24 points tonight against OBU and SNU's 82-78 win. And Alexis, first question I've got to ask you, being from Burleson, Texas, have you ever been to Bartlesville?
No, I have never been to Bartlesville.
Well, it sounds like the GAC tournament this year is going to be your first trip. Congratulations, tonight's win clinches for you guys. And what's that mean for you guys? This will be the first time that SNU has been to the GAC tournament since turning Division II.
It means so much to us. We're not content when where we are right now, so we're not even worried about that. We know that we're going to go to the conference tournament, but we also have to keep pushing, and we can't be content.
Now tonight, big win for you guys. Obviously, you had the double overtime win there in their place, so you knew it was going to be a tight one. It was kind of a tale of two halves for you guys. You went 9 of 20 from three-point range in the first half, only took 5 in the second half, and it seemed like you guys did a great job tonight of just taking what the defense was giving you.
Yes, sir, we did. It's all about coming out in the second half and keep going. Like our coach keeps telling us, we're going to play 40 minutes. We're not going to play half of the game. We're going to play all 40, and I really feel like that's what we did tonight, and we just kept putting it on them. And it worked out for us.
How big was that for you guys as a team with your confidence coming out in the third quarter after a couple rough third quarters last week and, playing that to a dead heat, maintaining your halftime lead, and then being able to go into the fourth quarter with that lead?
It meant so much, but we knew we could do that. We knew that we could hold them, and we also knew that we couldn't give up in the third quarter as well. We had to keep pushing, and no matter what the score was, or if we weren't taking shots, or if we weren't making shots, we just had to keep going, and that's what we did.
Now, you got it really aggressive there in the second half, driving to the bucket and getting to the foul line. 16 free throw attempts. You had 12 of them. Do you kind of invite that pressure, especially there at the end with the game on the line, going back to the free throw line?
Yes, sir, I do. I know that I could knock down free throws, and that's just what I had to do tonight.
Alexis, congratulations on the big win. Congratulations on clinching your spot in the conference championships. Again, 82-78 SNU, the winner over OBU tonight. When we come back, we'll be joined by head coach Trent May and get his thoughts on tonight's game. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we're joined now by SNU head coach Trent May. And Coach May, this is your first season here as head coach. It's been a while since you've been in Oklahoma. When was the last time you've been to Bartlesville?
I actually don't know. That's a great question, but I'll be going in a couple weeks. Super excited for our team, and that was our goal, beginning of the season, and it's special. It's nice that there's still, I don't even know, 5 games left in the season, and you've already clinched a spot in the conference tournament. I'm so proud of the girls. Another gutty performance tonight. My hat's off to our players, and just the will to continue to, nothing's easy, but you know what, man, that's just a great sign of a character and perseverance, and they just battle, and they there's so many times in this course of this semester specifically, conference time, they could have just laid down. They could have just, I have not seen any quit in our girls. And do they do everything right all the time and play mistake free? Absolutely not. But the fact that their hearts are so big, and they just gut out performances and just win games. And so super thankful for them, and thankful for the efforts, and and again that our team gets to represent the GAC in the conference tournament. It's pretty special.
Absolutely. And you've mentioned multiple times that your team's just been learning how to compete harder and more over the course of the season, and I think tonight kind of showed that, especially with the 28 free throw attempts and the fourth quarter, the aggression going to the basket. It seemed like you guys really took what the defense gave you there in the second half.
Yeah, and that's just recognition, and you just can't stay on your heels and wait for others to make a play. When there's an opening, you got to attack it. And we use the term smart aggressive. Both ends of the floor, and and there was great examples of both. That composure on both ends, and so it just I think this is our fewest turnovers we had this year, 5 in a game. But man, they did. There was great basketball play tonight because they didn't turn the ball over. We didn't turn the ball over. A lot of mistake-free basketball tonight, and so you got to give those teams credit for making plays and taking care of the ball, and that's why there was no separation. They weren't turning it over, we weren't turning it over. if there would have been a big discrepancy in turnovers, I think that would have gone to the that would have gone to the team. So thankfully, our girls did a great job taking care of the ball. Again, 5 turnovers for the game is incredible.
Absolutely.
And so when they're tired, and both teams are tired. Both teams are this time of year. Man, it's just like can you and like I wanted to before the game, I wrote on the board compete for 40 minutes. I don't want to play 32. NCAA gives us 40 minutes to play a game. Let's play all 40, and the girls did a great job of executing that.
And you did that especially there in that third quarter, coming out with a lead and leaving the third quarter
with a lead.
Well, how big was that?
Almost. Like they got us by 1.
Yes.
They got us by 1, but again, it wasn't a big discrepancy. You got 1 point and 2 in the fourth. Those things matter, but again, I don't think we ever trailed tonight. Did we ever trail?
Just early in the first. First.
Yeah, first. Yep. Okay. And then our girls did a good job sustaining and just playing with that lead and keeping it. And you always want it to grow. You'd like to have a big separation in the fourth quarter and just kind of being able to play your bench and that kind of stuff. But that didn't happen. And but then again, our girls answered the call when it didn't.
And kind of going back to taking what the defense gave you, you guys put up 23 pointers in the first half. How important was it that you did take what the defense gave you and didn't just kind of carry over that and forcing that with the success you saw with that in the first half? You
got to love your shot. You got to love your shot. And our girls were, and a lot of those went down. I think we were 10 for 25 for the game, so not bad. 40% shooting. You're in your gym, so sometimes you should. But it was good to see those go in. They were really important, obviously, and it was just good to get that confidence early. And obviously they had to change their defense because we're knocking down shots. And so again, credit our girls for making the right reads, the right plays at the right time.
I want to go back to just the goal that you guys said of getting to the conference championship this season. Now that that's been accomplished, what's the next one on the list now that you've already checked one off?
It's you still want to get better, and the thing is, I still is sometimes as well as we play in moments, you want to put more of those together. You want to put more winning plays together, and you want to start again raising your game this time of year and rising to not just the level of competition, but rising to the time of year that's like the best players, best teams continue to advance. And so if we have more to give, if we can get better, let's find a way to do that. And so we'll go back at it tomorrow and get ready for Saturday. And but it's nice to I think the pressure, again, getting to the conference tournament, that was our goal. We all know that you want the best seed possible. And so there's still a lot to play for. There's a lot of pride. We still have 3 home games. And again, nothing will be easy, and nothing should be easy this time of year. And so we just got to make sure that we continue to to try to progress and stay healthy, and then also try to get better at reps every day.
Absolutely, a lot of winning left to do, Coach.
Absolutely.
That's Coach Trent May, and when we come back, we'll get you set for SNU and OBU men's game. Again, the final tonight for the women, 82-78 SNU, the winner over the Bison, punching their ticket to Bartlesville. We'll be right back after this.
Thanks, guys.